I didn't do anything wrong.
A little over the top, don't you think? All the shadow play. I thought it was spot on.
After a superb season premiere, what will the second chapter of season 2 of Loki have in store for us? Which direction will the show go, and will the new entry hold up to the previous one? If you'd like to find out, then join me for this review video. The episode starts with our heroes still trying to find Sylvie. Without a lead on her, they track down Hunter X5, one of General Dox's men, who all went dark while supposedly also looking for Sylvie. They find X5 on the sacred timeline in London in 1977, now being a movie star named Brad Wolfe. Upon seeing Loki and Mobius, he runs.
Is he running now? He is running.
But Hunter B-15 manages to snatch his temp pad away, and after a quick scene reminding us of another piece of tech we've last seen early in season 1, the Time Twister, which allows a person to jump back to where they were a few seconds earlier, Loki soon manages to capture the rogue Hunter.
You quit with the magic and fight fair! Oh, shit.
It's not a fair fight.
Using his magic. Back in the TVA, they notice that his temp pad has been altered, with Brad claiming that this is to avoid being tracked. Not believing him, they take it to OB to find out the purpose of those changes. However, as OB is still busy retrofitting the time loom...
Do you think this is a higher priority than preventing a temporal meltdown?
Oh, no. I focused on the temporal meltdown.
I agree.
They have to manage on their own, using his TVA guidebook. Fortunately, Casey knows the guidebook by heart, allowing him to disprove Brad's claims, so the team heads to X5's cell to interrogate him. Before entering, Mobius reminds everyone that...
Brad's an asshole, so don't let him get under your skin, okay, Loki? What?
However, trying to provoke Loki by telling him he will always bring pain to the people around him didn't work, as the trickster takes it like a champ.
Stop trying to be a hero, man. You're a villain. You're good at it.
Then, ironically, it is Mobius who loses his cool.
What happened back there?
Nothing!
It seemed like nothing. It was tactical.
Ashamed for his outburst, Loki lifts Mobius's mood over a piece of key lime pie, with a quick tidbit about his past.
That wasn't tactical. I lost it.
It's okay. It happens. You remember that time? I was so angry, I went down to Earth and I held the whole of New York City hostage. Tried to use the Mind Stone on Tony Stark. It didn't work. So I threw him off the building. Wasn't tactical.
Yeah.
I lost it. Sometimes our emotions get the better of us.
You can say that again.
However, as they are both convinced that Brad knows Sylvie's location but never told General Dox, because that would mean the end of his new identity as an actor, they make him talk by Loki heavily leaning into the villain persona Brad previously tried to summon.
Mobius! Hey! Get in here!
Making the guy believe his life truly is in danger.
He knows where Sylvie is.
See? A little bit of mischief.
Only as good as your plan.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, OB finishes upgrading the tech the time loom needs to handle the higher workload, but can't reopen the blast doors as his temporal aura is rejected.
Oh no.
This is when Hunter B-15 and Casey drop by.
We're all gonna die! Oh, hey, nice to meet you. We're all gonna die.
Apparently only Kang, aka He Who Remains, or now better, He Who Is Dead, can open it. Or Miss Minutes, who went rogue and is nowhere to be found. Back in the Branch 1982 timeline, they find Sylvie working at McDonald's, just wanting to lead a normal life. There, Loki tries to find out why he saw Sylvie in the future, which poses a conundrum, as the future is not written anymore. And he also catches her up. All the while, X5 is getting antsy, eager to leave this reality. Enchanting him, Sylvie is able to see that General Dox is planning to bomb every new branch at the same time, in an effort to restore the sacred timeline. And she also knows where to find the general. Though they are able to capture the rogue hunters, most branches end up being pruned, effectively having killed billions of people.
Those are people.
Those are lives.
While Loki is completely dedicated to support the TVA to make sense of things, Sylvie doesn't share this notion and leaves. The episode ends with a reveal that Sylvie is still in possession of Kang's master Tempad, which may hold some helpful features for episodes to come, and the team learning the location of Ravonna Renslayer's Tempad. But of course, this does little to lighten the mood inside the TVA. Well, let's try to keep this video a bit shorter. After the last chapter blew me away, I was sure that the second entry would not be able to match up. The question was just how large the gap might be, and honestly, it's not that big. There was some fluff this time around that appeared a little bit constructed, but nothing drastic. For instance, there was no real reason why Hunter B15 would introduce Casey to OB, especially as the guy is super busy right now. Of course, that led to a nice fanboy moment where Casey geeked out a bit, which already made it worth it.
You're Ouroboros?
Yes?
You wrote the TVA guidebook. Will you sign mine for me?
Of course I will. Happy to do it.
I do understand that the writer somehow needed to bring Casey into the fold, and I'm sure that this will later have a cool payoff. But it felt a bit random, which is a pity, as they could have easily given him a proper reason, like, let's say, working on identifying the purpose of the modifications on Brad's Tempad, with him running a theory by OB. And that brings us to the other thing that was weird. Seeing that Casey knows his stuff, why didn't they leave the Tempad with him? There was no real reason to take it with them to interrogate X5. This one quick adjustment would have fixed both issues. But honestly, that was basically all I noticed in that regards. All in all, this was another great episode. It didn't have the urgency and speed the previous entry had, but like I said before, that energy that came from riding the high of solving last season's cliffhanger was next to impossible to reproduce. Of course, the big philosophical question remains: what is better? Pruning branches or potentially allowing an interdimensional war to take place? It sure felt heavy and saddening to see the bombs snuffing out billions of lives. But will this end up being a good thing for the whole multiverse? Midway through the episode, it appeared pretty clear that the reason why the team will seek out another Kang variant, Victor Timely, would be to use his temporal aura to open the blast doors, as Miss Minutes will likely stay AWOL. But now that the timeline is pretty much pruned back again, do they even still need to insert OB's upgraded tech? Will there soon be new growth, or was this explosion of branches just a one-off connected to Kang being killed by Sylvie? This will likely be addressed in the next episode. Same goes for the question that remained from last week. Who pruned Loki from behind when he was in the future? One last observation. Is the lunchroom always stocked to the brim with the one item any given visitor is looking for? Or are they always just serving key lime pie and nothing else? Not sure if that was shown somewhere before in season 1. If so, and if you know, let me know in the comments. In any case, I love background details like these. And with that being said, let's get to the rating, but before we go there, let me ask you to like and share this video if you enjoyed it so far. And if you're no subscriber yet, maybe consider to change that. By also hitting the notification bell, you will get a heads up for most of my new videos. Now for the rating. Overall, the episode was fun. Though not always funny, but that was on purpose due to the dire mood at the end. It was interesting, fast-paced enough, quite emotional, and as well acted and produced as all previous episodes. It didn't quite create the same euphoria in me as the previous chapter, but it was close enough for me to be totally happy with it. I'm rating this episode with 8.5 out of 10 points, because most things were done well, though not almost perfectly yet. It is a great score and better than I expected it to be.
Don't overthink it.
If the show manages to stay in the realm above 7 out of 10 points, I would already be satisfied. But of course, I wouldn't complain if it stays in the same region the first 2 episodes reside so far. What about you? How do you like the show? Do you think I should have scored the entry closer to the season premiere's 10 out of 10, or am I scoring it too high for you? What do you think will happen next? Whatever you like to share, let me know in the comments. So much for now, see you next time, and thanks for watching. Though they are able to capture the rogue hunters, most Though they are able to capture most of the rogue hunters, the episode ends with a reveal that Sylvie is still in possession of Kang's master Tempad, which may hold some helpful features for futures to come.